And hello, welcome back to the stream. It is your host, Mildly Startled, and today we are going to be continuing playing Fields of Glory. I don't care if I spend the rest of my life playing this game, I will win Battle of Hastings, and I will play more of these battles, because strangely enough, this game is really addictive. Like, really addictive. I was up late last night and I had to go back and play offline because I was trying to think in my head, what do I do here? Do I spread my cavalry out? Do I need to use my archers more? What do I need to do to achieve victory in this scenario? Now, rather amusingly or embarrassingly for me, I played this offline and I actually won. I actually won the Battle of Hastings like the first go offline. And I didn't save it because I was thinking, I just want to play this over my head over and over and over. And long story short, I won it. So we're going to go and load the previous save. No changes have been made since the last VOD. You can watch the last chunks of it. But no changes have been made to the difficulty and all that, and I was able to work it out. So, looking at this game, what do you need to do to win this battle? And so, looking back on the game, looking at the logic of it, effectively on a Norman side you have one line of infantry and a second backup line of cavalry. Now, this second backup line of cavalry, oh, 1 minute boys and girls, I just got a phone call. I'm going to go to performance mode and I'll be back in a sec. The joys of having a social life. What's that message? Nothing of value. Yeah, so where was I? Yeah, so effectively your first line infantry is garbage. Whereas the Anglo-Saxons have two lines of very good infantry. So what you need to treat this as your first line is garbage impact, garbage melee, but they will wear the enemy down. They're just there to hold the line. Your cavalry is your second line, and it has really good impact, but really bad melee. So what you need to do is use a healthy chunk of your cavalry in the rear like this, and you move up the front line to engage in battle. Once a hole opens up like here, or for example here, you send your cavalry in to start attacking the sides with charges. Over time this will weaken the Anglo-Saxon front and they will begin to collapse. At the same time I put some cavalry up on the right to keep on mass charging to the left hand side. This effectively wears down the Anglo-Saxon battle line and allows you to push. I won this either due to RNG or due to just being a really god tier gamer, but effectively that is what you need to do. So hopefully I'm going to recreate and redo what I did previously, and this will allow me to win the battle as bragging rights, to say that I've won it and I'm no longer a potato. So let us end the turn. I believe we have everything we can do here. And hopefully, fingers crossed. Let's see if I can do any melee first. No. 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 Yes. No. No. Yes. No. No. What I need to do is just wear down the line. Hopefully RNG will be on my side. If not, then but fingers crossed it holds and we win. But you can't ignore you can't just leave your cavalry and flank around with them all. If you do, you are going to lose because your front line will collapse eventually. It's not a matter of if your front line collapses, it's a matter of when your front line collapses. And what you need to do is use that cavalry with those impact charges to wear down the enemy once your troops begin to fall back. Don't charge yourself, let them charge, because their charge isn't that good either. It's their melee which is better. As you can see, RNG is in my favour. I'm not losing. I'm doing rather well. Now the left will collapse, but that's fine because you've got cavalry there to slow down their advance and keep their attention. And so we'll just keep on charging our cavalry in. Just constantly pestering away. We're not going to try and break that enemy line. We're just going to be as much a nuisance to them as possible. And I forgot how to control. There we are. My troops. There we are. Keep on trying to use the ASD keys. See what I'm doing here? I'm just cycle charging, wearing them down. I'm not trying to push. You also got to use these other archers, even though their damage is awful. You've got to use them to wear them down. If you don't, then you're in a bad spot. But I'm going to have to move these archers back. That was a bad turn on my end, but it's not the end of the world. Keep doing that over and over and over. Whenever you get good values, keep pushing as well. But you've got to use that cavalry. So I reckon the best way to win as the Anglo-Saxons is once you see cavalry, you've got to melee them because you've got to get them in melee, otherwise they'll slowly begin wearing down your troops. And don't be too worried if you get behind an enemy because they have to waste a turn turning to face you. So it doesn't matter. That was bad. I'm not the end of the world because I can charge in there. RNG is not on my side this time, but it's not the end of the world. Yeah, RNG is definitely not my side this time, but I'm not too worried yet. It's not the end. Still a lot to play for, especially that right flank. That right flank will collapse soon. That will collapse. And what I've found is fragmented effectively means like that's a free hit. A fragmented unit will take a lot of damage. So here, once again, charge. Charge. You're sort of stuck, sadly. You're sort of stuck as well. That's alright, we can just keep charging. And you've got to use the archers, even though the damage is pants. The archers do actually do stuff of value. Because I fragmented them, my cavalry gets to get into the rear, gets a free attack, and does its own thing. But I won't be able to charge there. I can, however, keep charging here. If I move this unit back one, turn around, get a free volley on that. Move the archers back, turn them around, do a melee and try and get them to withdraw. There we are. Hold these guys back because I can't use them. If I do, I'll be forced to withdraw into them, which is not good. That guy's disrupted, that means I'll have a higher likelihood of winning. These guys are sort of stuck for now, but it's not the end of the world. I can charge and potentially have a 50% chance of losing the attack. Why not? Let's see what happens. They get a draw. And these guys are just chilling. I don't know how these archers got behind, but they did, so. That left flank is gone, but that left flank was always gone. This guy will go soon as well. So it's going to keep on firing away at these fellows. Oh, buggered herself here. Oh well. Disrupted, meaning we have a good chance of winning. And that will allow us to do some more damage. It's all about damage, sometimes it's not about the immediate route. And now we'll send these guys crashing into the rear if possible. Okay, those guys are disrupted, meaning that they will no longer pose a threat. We can move in behind, like so. And that will do some serious damage. That's a bad deal. Probably not going to do any damage there, but you never know. Nah, no damage. Waste of time. And then we move on to the next turn. That was a bad bit of RNG there. The trick is see if we can get a chain route. If we do enough damage, we can potentially do a significant chain route. Sadly, that cavalry is going to go the way of the dodo. And if you can, melee with your cavalry to get back out of the attack. So you will have to melee here to get yourself back out. You don't want to keep them in melee. That's going to rout. Because I've done enough damage to this infantry up here, I can keep my cavalry to an extent in melee. Really, it's supposed to as attrition as a Normans. You've got to use the archers, at least on level 2 difficulty, which I think is like normal, where no one gets any bonuses. Where you've just got to wear down the Anglo-Saxons. You can't do this massive assault. You see what I'm doing here? I'm slowly rotating the troops out. Not getting too... I'm not drawing the cavalry into battle. Wherever any lines form, I'm... wherever any holes in the line form, I'm moving the cavalry in to countercharge. So that's really the most optimum way of doing things. And I'm trying to aim for that fragmentation. If I can get them to fragmentate, I get a free massive hit and damage. And I have a massive chain route because they're all really damaged. Sadly, it's all dragged some of my cavalry away. But that's the price you've got to pay sometimes to get success. This will collapse. It's just going to happen, but because the right is just completely in my control, it doesn't really matter. Sadly, those two cavalry are lost now. They will just mung around at back until later on. And these guys will die. But they are buying me time, precious time. Oh, I just win. So RNG is in my favour, but yeah. So really, to understand the logic in this, so that was on second difficulty. Let's review the battlefield. So that means there's no buffs for me and there's no buffs for the enemy. To really understand this, you've basically, as Normans, don't be misled by the cavalry. It is primarily just another infantry line, but their gimmick, so to speak, is great impact, rubbish melee against decent infantry. So you want to keep cycle charging over and over whenever a whole enemy line sets up. If you keep cycle charging, you will wear down the enemy, and eventually you will be able to get into melee without taking too many casualties. However, the mistake I was making is I was trying to delay with my infantry so I could flank around with all my cavalry. That doesn't work because all you end up with is a gaping hole in the centre of your line, which allows the enemy to turn to face your flanking manoeuvres. So what you need is a healthy portion on the right flank. A lot of archers to actually use the initial skirmishing before turn 6, before they advance, to wear down the enemy where possible. And then once your archers are finished, they'll run away through your lines, so you don't have to worry about microing them. You begin this war of attrition, where eventually you'll win, but only if you keep on cycle charging. You keep cycle charging and RNG is with you, you will wear down the enemy to a point that your infantry will beat their infantry. And eventually you'll cause chain routes, which I did on the right, leading to this mass collapse, allowing me basically to win. This is actually better than last time. Last time I had to get 60% English casualties, but it was a very effective way. I also sort of abandoned the left flank and used it as a delaying tactic, so I won't move the infantry away, but I'll leave some cavalry just to cycle charge the advancing Anglo-Saxons. I won't try and flank on the left. I will have some troops in the centre, some cavalry in the centre, and a large flanking party of cavalry. Eventually the Anglo-Saxons will come down a hill. They're scripted to do so, from what I understood from trial and error. And once they've come down the hill, you don't have to worry, like they move into your flanking manoeuvre. Though they blocked it, but I can just keep on cycle charging up this hill and just keep on whittling them away. And actually another thing I found was quite helpful was the routing mechanic. So once you stagger an enemy, if you send in another cavalry charge, there's a higher likelihood of them routing, at which point your cavalry will chase the routers, giving you basically a free movement turn through into the back of the enemy lines in a perfect situation. It can also get you into, say, this situation where your cavalry gets bogged down, but this means that, like, these guys moved here because they were chasing after some archers. So now, once they're finished with these birdmen, they've got free reign to come into the back and the sides of the enemy cavalry. Of course, at least this situation as well, where the where your cavalry just chase these routers and won't come back till later. But it's a really good boon for that extra turn. But stagger is effectively meaning attack me now, because then you'll win. As you'll see, the casualties are much more in my favour. Wounded 648, wounded 1000. But now, put our money where the mouth is. It's time to play from the Anglo-Saxon perspective. The first thing I want to do is I want to move my archers to the front if possible. Is it possible to move them from the front? So I noticed that their archers can move to the front. Guess not. I don't really like javelinmen, they're not very good. Slingers, yeah, I'll keep. Slingers are pretty good. If I can get some more of these fellows, I'd be a happy man. Guess not. Oh well. No, that's not really what I wanted. So these guys now start without what they wanted, so let's go back to the main menu. I don't want to sandbox campaign. No, 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 no! No! Back. But the amount of game time I've got out of this from playing this one battle is insane. So I want armored spearmen, as many as you can give me. Good. Now I want these guys to retreat if possible. And there we are. So here's how I think it works from the Anglo-Saxon perspective. So your infantry will beat their infantry. Your infantry is better. However, what gets you is this cavalry, which will begin to slowly wear you down. So when you get a chance, you need to impact that cavalry and pin them in place so you can do the damage. Like, I'm more than happy for the archers just to shoot my archer all day. Five damage looks like a lot, but it's not. See, these guys are just going to withdraw. No point charging them. The only reason I charged with these good quality thirdmen is because I knew they were already melee. Now, I think those guys can't evade. No, they can run through. I don't think they can anymore because they're stuck in melee. Because there's another guy behind now, so this may work in my favour. So we will charge you, but hopefully we can just run away after. And just retreat back after. The archer has done his job now, he can retreat. You're going to begin the advance? Nope. Okay, here comes the advance. They're going to keep on doing damage, but I can't do much about it. You fucked me, haven't you, Charlie? So he survived the initial engagement. The bow spam. That's not good. See, if I charge you now, this guy's just going to retreat. Alright, now let's save, shall we? Valley. Okay, now the archers are going to be pretty useless now, so we should be fine. I've got to get this cavalry in melee though. I've got to pin him down. Draw, draw, lose. Draw. I'm going to attack this to make it retreat, but I can't because it's still full health. Attack these guys instead. No, I know these guys will be stuck in melee, but I'm going to lose that engagement if I try and attack it. And that's the problem. If I can get these guys down the hill, you'd be alright, but I can't. RNG is really with me today. Gotta get in and smack that cavalry up. Right, he's just gonna run away. But if I can... I know it's gonna be a loss. The initial loss will always be awful. But if I can just hold him in melee, I'm gonna start winning. Again, I'm going to attack this. I will lose, but I'll win over time. And that's what you need to do. You just need to pin that cavalry down. You can't let it get about. Now, I'm not going to attack this cavalry, because it may retreat. Actually, I will. Now that cavalry's pinned, it's got nowhere to go, and I'll start winning that engagement. You're going to break, that's fine. They're engaged in melee now, so that's when I send my guys in. Wear them down. Whilst the cavalry's engaged in melee, we're good. Unless that happens, and RNG fucks you. Again, we will lose initially, but I want to keep that cavalry pinned. I don't want it running. Always lose the initial charge. You're always going to lose it, but it is so imperative that you do charge it. And then as soon as you disrupt someone, keep on attacking that point. Cavalry's going to keep on cycle charging, you've got to pin it. You can see it's much more even than last time I played, eh? That's going to be a loss, but Hoping maybe I can flank round. That's also going to be a loss. Oh, that's some bad RNG. Another bit of bad RNG. Going to be an initial loss from the charge. Always is. Alright, Harold, win me the game. You can see it's going much better because I've actually understood the game now. That might be a double break. Now I won't be able to charge cavalry here because they're out in the open. And now I can charge those cavalry because it's pinned. L break, understandable. Bastards fell back. So I can try and pin. This cavalry here, if I turn them to face that way, and then send these guys charging in. In the meantime, we've got to keep on charging. Like we will lose the initial charge, we always do. But it's the milli I need. It's the milli. We're going to lose that. I just need that cavalry to stay in place. It's just about taking it on the chin and just doing the charge. Yeah, that right flank is going, but it doesn't matter. No RNG is involved in here because you've got to get the cavalry in the right place, otherwise you're going to have a bad time. So if I push these directly to the rear, I won't be able to chase them, but if I push them over here, yeah, you are going to take casualties in this. It's just the nature of the beast. That's the thing what put me off. So I was so worried about taking initial damage from cavalry, but once the cavalry's in melee, it is useless. It cannot do anything. Initial casualties would be high, but necessary. It's like value troops aren't too much of a problem. Old! Cavalry's coming around the flank, but it's not too bad because my right flank is also doing okay. Ouch. That 3 cavalry is going to be a nightmare. It's going to be a loss here, but I've got to. Ouch. I was going to take a lot of damage maybe out. Yep. Gotta hold, boys, hold. Okay, back in the game. Alright, move to attack you. I need to rotate you actually to face this way. You guys just will not give up. I'll take the impact charge. Because now I know that in melee I'll be winning and I'll pin that guy down. He's not going to go anywhere. May have been a bad idea to charge after the archers. Suppose we'll find out. You may have out, but hopefully not. Good, good. We'll send these fellows to chase after the cav. Oh, not the cav, you know what I mean. Okay, it's all golden Pete Tom. Still close, still all to play for. Just pity that most of their units are archers. Otherwise I could kill a couple of these bastards. Good, keep holding firm. They're bogged in now, that cavalry is bogged in. You're running. Can't charge you. I'm gonna run this away though because I don't want it to these guys get killed. That's a close one. Just gotta hold. Hold, my boys, hold. They charged me, and I'm actually losing. Midi. Like these guys, the sheriff is the MVP right now. He is holding the line. Like he's doing his best. I mean, he is doing his best. We go and Sheriff Chad of Chaddington. Sometimes I feel it's better not to bring routed units back upon the field. I'm gonna get a charge in. That's maybe the end of me. Ah, I forgot to charge those guys. I've got it. I think I've won this. A free hit here. By free, I mean just about. No, don't fall back. Oh, don't rally. Nope. Ah, yes. A victory for me. Whew. Yep, so I was right. So primarily, the Anglo-Saxon strength is its great infantry. You've got your two lines of infantry, they will win in melee against a weak spearman, and they will win eventually in melee against a horseman. What you need to do is get as many infantry as you can, and whenever possible, I know it's going to be painful, you're going to lose men, you've got to charge the horses to get them into melee. If there's an enemy behind them, or if there's an enemy at an angle which you can charge into and damage, and pin them in place, you will do damage which will eventually kill those knights. You cannot let those knights just constantly retreat, charge and retreat, charge and retreat, because if you do, they're going to take no damage, you're going to take lots of damage, and as the battle progresses, you're going to get weaker and weaker, and they're just going to steamroll over you. As you saw on the left flank, what I was able to do was I was able to gang up on the disorganized spearmen, which of course is the weaker Norman line, and do significant damage and break through. At which point I wanted to push the archers off to keep them off the battle, so I committed some forces instead of flanking to push those archers off so they stopped doing damage. I was also hoping for some easy routes, so this is why you've got these skirmishes over here, because I had to bite the bullet and force the enemy away from the objective, from the battle. If I could force the archers away from the battle, I had a good chance of winning due to lack of attrition. And then up on the left we did lose, but that unit was a godsend because it pinned one unit in place. And by breaking the right, I was able to bring my troops back up north to engage. But the main effort was pinning. I know it's painful with the impact, but you've got to pin. If you do not pin, you are going to lose this. And you're going to lose troops. It's going to be absolutely garbage. But it's just the nature of the beast in this battle. The battle is very painful from the Anglo perspective, especially at the start when you're getting dominated by archers, which I was quite lucky that they focused on my bowmen rather than the infantry. And then of course later on you'll be hating those charges because you know you're going to lose. But you've got to pin them and hope RNG is on your side. And that is how we won the Battle of Hastings. By stopping the cavalry in its tracks. $675 so we lost more casualties, but we captured quite a lot. And that has been the end of the Anglo-Saxon battles of Hastings. So let's now play a different battle. Tinchebrai, Normans and Anglo-Normans. Robert Curthose was the eldest son of William the Conqueror and Queen Matilda. However, he fell out with his father and younger brothers when the boys emptied a chamber pot over his head, and William refused to chastise them. After rebelling against his father, the two were eventually reconciled due to the efforts of Queen Matilda. When William died, he divided his dominions between his sons. William Rufus inherited the English throne, while Robert was granted the Duchy of Normandy. They both agreed to be each other's heirs. A few years later, Robert joined the First Crusade and was still abroad when his brother William Rufus died. Robert's absence from England allowed his younger brother Henry to seize the throne for himself. Robert attempted an invasion of England, but was eventually forced to renounce his claim to the throne in the Treaty of Autun. He returned to Normandy, but continued to stir up trouble for Henry. So in 1105, Henry I invaded Normandy. Marching south, Henry besieged the city of Tinchebrai, which was held by Robert by William, Count of Mortain. Robert hastily raised his levies and advanced on Tinchebrai to break the siege. After negotiations failed to reach a settlement, Robert attacked his brother's army. The stalker victor was the Anglo-Normans. Aftermath: his army defeated, Robert Curthose was captured and spent the rest of his life in his captivity, finally dying in Cardiff Castle in 1134. So let us place the Normans in. Really, the Normans were the Chads of that area, weren't they? They're just going around just stirring shit up. Most of Robert's Norman knights have dismounted and are deployed in the front line to protect the raw feudal levies. The remaining unmounted knights are drawn up on the wings. The Normans must win the battle by turn 30 to lift the siege. A draw will count as an Anglo-Norman victory. Henry's Anglo-Norman army is drawn up in 2 lines with mounted knights on the flanks. So what have we got? So I've got the bigger army. Like, I've got the big boy army. Lots of dismounted knights, some feudal levies. They have got lots of dismounted knights. Lots of feudal levels behind. I've got knights on the left, knights on the right. They have got knights on the right. Some knights on the right as well. Some knights on the left. So I want to buff up as many knights as possible. And then I'll have some dismounted knights and sergeants. What are these good for? Unmaneuverable, but their troop quality is superior, they're armoured, and they're knightly. Knights and sergeants. Superior, armoured, offensive spearmen, so we want to go on the attack here. Undrilled, heavy foot. Defensive. Unmaneuverable, raw, protected, defensive spearmen. No! No! Ugh. Quality of life, boys. Quality of life. Give me a "are you sure" before you do this. We aren't going back to Hastings, boys. I've had enough of Hastings. No Hastings. Hastings is bad. I'm done with Hastings. So we'll move up our archers. Move up the cavalry on the flanks. And then their turn. Interesting technique. And start widening our wings. See what I'm doing here? Trying to build a nice low angle to come crashing down on. What are you doing here, Anglo-Norman Knights? Don't remember you just randomly appearing. Oh, you're not mine, that's why. Oh, you all look the same. Jesus, that's awful. How did Normans lose this? This looks like an open and shut case. How did the Normans fucking lose this? Alright, where's my irritating archers? How did the English win this? Or the Anglo-Normans? Rupert must be gutted. He thought everybody was going to crush these guys. Ah. Have been hidden in the wings. That's starting to make more sense now. Now it's making sense. My idea is just to ignore the left. And hopefully just break through before that happens. Yeah, hopefully. But no, my luck. No. How's your day, Dor? Not too shabby. I won the Battle of Hastings. I won it, both from the Anglo-Saxon and the Norman side. I was able to work out the logic behind it. Okay, so I've learned. I may have to redo this battle because I'm pretty sure I've lost this now. That's good. Yeah, I know that the what do you call it, the Twitch connection's not doing too well. I don't mind so much because this game you don't really need to see everything that's going on. But yeah, haven't. I think it's the Twitch playing up. So my left's gone walkies. I wonder if I can turn this so you can see more of the battle. There you are. Let's go about here. I can live with a draw. Unless I lose. Said draw. I know, charging cab's not a good idea, but it's necessary evil. Okay, the feudal levies are letting the team down. I know, the plebs. What can you do with them? That's not good for much, are they? Just plebbing it up. Give them one job. Not even meat shells, they spawn at the back of the line. Truly the worst plebs. So I could win this now, as long as I just, like, didn't move up the left flank, we'd have won this. Holy crap, the damage they are doing. I can't really tell the difference between who's my boys and who's their boys. That is a collapsed left flank if I've ever seen one. Okay, Rupert, look forward to going to living in a castle for the rest of your life as a prisoner. That's a lot of cavalry. Not the end of the world. It's just that once these guys come back, it's going to be the end of the world. I'm going to need that centre to break. Can you do that for me? I mean, almost. You'll take damage. I know you will. You just gotta grin and bear it, boys. Plebs, I need you as a speed bump, a human speed bump, to hold that left. Plebs, please. We're gonna win that. Nope. We're gonna win this. Nope. We're gonna win this. Nope. We're gonna win this. Almost. Oh god, you're awful. You guys are awful. Plebs, please. Still not looking too bad on the left. I mean, yes, that's bad, but there's still got a lot of cavalry to come, and it's going to take them a while to get there. Alright, now in a bad spot. I believe, my Normans. I believe. I don't believe. Run away. Surrender. You do get a mix of emotions each turn of this game. Like, you can feel quite comfortable one second, and the next turn it's like, oh fuck. We're back to getting screwed. Oh, that life, yeah, something along those lines. Because this could go any way. Right now, our casualties are pretty even. And if I do break the centre before they bring that flank around, we are good. It's us these fellows. Once they turn around, we're in a bad position. Because they're just going to come all the way and smack me in the arse. Plebs, don't let the team down, plebs. Plebs got to do something. And if that means die, then sadly that's the price I got to pay. No, please. Please don't. Like a good ass slap. When I'm the one slapping ass, then sure, I can live with a good ass slapping. When the ass slapping is my own ass, then I'm not a fan. Got to move up aggressively. These dismounted knights and sergeants are pretty garbage. Like, way to let the team down, buddies. So I have a stunning counterattack coming up soon. But so do they, so stand by for clapping. Hold! I demand you hold that left. Oh, you Chad. What are you? Chads, that's who you are. Norman Chads and Sergeants. Don't worry, the plebs are on their way. Ooh. On the second fort. So at the start, because I didn't realise the guys had more cavalry, I was like, oh, this is going to be a steamroll. I've got more infantry, and then out comes this cavalry horde. Out of nowhere, it's like, ah. So that's why the Normans lost. Oh, what's going to happen is I've got to make sure these guys hold. And then we can keep on pushing around the flank. Like this amazing counterattack. Nice work, guys. Letting the team down since whatever time period this is. Hold firm, you cowards. Not you. Where are you going? You know what? You're already here. Plonk yourself over there. Plebs. How are we doing, plebs? Yep, it's costly, but I gotta do it. Literally peasants. Peasants have joined this battle. That's what you've given me to win this war. Peasants. And this is what I'm up against. Great. Yeah, we can't have that. Stop routing! Peasants go over there and just be a general nuisance. Cavalry, can you chase these guys down? Well, right now I'm winning. That's because I've delayed their cavalry advance. Second, Cavs McGee starts ramming into me, is when we'll start having problems. Still holding firm, eh? Well, good for you. Yeah, you had to break eventually. I was getting so smashed. Out comes the peasants. Now, if I can just do 40 damage and have 25% less losses, I win, I think. Yeah, 40% of their army. So it's about delaying that turn-based room. Almost. Hammer and anvil. Ouch. Oh, we won that. Didn't win that one though. I can win this before they have a chance to flank. As long as they don't rally, we're good. All I gotta do is I think, get one more unit to rout, and we are in the gravy train. And I believe we've won. Didn't I win this? Thought I'd won this. I guess not. Routing at least 40% of army and 25% more than you have lost. I guess we didn't rout them. Ouch. It's okay, the human meat shields are still doing their job, so it doesn't really matter, I don't think. Though I'm a bit upset by the lack of victory here. You may lose, peasants, but I do not care. Ouch. What's going on here? Why can't you attack? I guess you just refuse not to because you're this peasant. I guess the peasant life does not endorse. If you want to game, let me know. Reject, no worries. Oh, you wanted to... Oh, were you trying to go... Were you trying to get me to play Rome, boy? No Rome today. Never. No Rome, ever. Rome is banned. Maybe War Thunder, though. Hi, go on, Italy. Italy's fun. Italy's fun. See if I win this battle. If I lose the battle, then I'll play a different game. But I think I'm going to win this. And he says... The peasants have been disrupted. Ouch, that cavalry's going to be a nightmare. Oh, I won. Okay, so what... And that was on 2 difficulty, okay. So it's a bit of an easier battle, but it does come with a twist. So primarily you start with a lot more infantry, meaning you've got the punch to break through. It's just going to be attrition tactics. You've also got a lot of offensive units at the front, meaning that you can wear the enemy down, especially if they move forward in a disorganized fashion, meaning that you can pick them off one by one. You've also got a healthy group of cavalry on the right and a healthy group of cavalry on the left. But the Anglo-Normans have a massive cavalry force hidden in those trees, meaning that when you move forward, your left flank will be up in the air, but you've got to move forward to win quickly, to win that centre. So your job on the left flank is to buy time. Now that winged tactic did buy time, and also I did get some cavalry to reform and cause the AI to chase after me, which again bought me time. I then sent some crappy feudal levies and test to act as a speed bump. They're not supposed to win. They're just there to pin the cavalry in place so that the main offensive unit in the centre can win the battles. Equally on the right, if you can win the right, which hopefully you can with the help of infantry, just get them in the melee and they'll hopefully win against enemy cavalry, you can then swing that right around and start crushing the enemy centre. So I was quite lucky by being able to pin that cavalry or just delay that cavalry. I was able to get troops around both flanks of the enemy and start compressing while pushing through in the middle, meaning that I had the encirclements and the cavalry couldn't do anything. It was an easier battle than the Battle of Hastings, much easier, because you've got the room to manoeuvre. However, it is quite a difficult battle as well because you're on a soft time limit. You just need to buy time, and if you lose, or if the cavalry can move up, say in like 1 or 2 turns, if that cavalry can swing back, then you're just going to lose that advantage and get collapsed. Not really sure why I didn't win earlier, but hey ho. Yeah, Anglo-Normans 50% to 25%. Oh, because they lost more casualties than me. I see how it works. So that's actually number of routes, not actually number of casualties. Let's end the review. There's a load of men, 3,785, 1,605. Easy battle for an easy day. Okay, I'm going to go play a bit of War Thunder now, so I'm going to end the stream and we'll just play a little bit.